Hello everyone and welcome to this module on the plumbing trade. In today's session, we are going to learn to set out work with a tape, rule, square, line pin and level as per the drawing. By the end of this lesson, you will be able to mark the third line of the building, mark the fourth line of the building, drive nails on pegs, verify the diagonal distance between profile markings. The required materials and tools are builder's square steel 75 cm by 50 cm 1, nylon marking thread as required, a hammer mason or club 1.5 pounds 1, measuring tape 30 meters 1, plumb bob 1, steel tri-square 1, spirit level 1, 35 mm long and wire nails as required, wooden pegs as required, wooden profiles as required, lime powder as required. Let us now start the procedure. Mark the third line of the building. Measure an arbitrary distance of 1 meter from the boundary DC. Locate pins P5 and P6 to encompass the overall dimensions of the rear side of the building, including the foundation excavation width and a safe distance. While measuring, stretch and hold the steel tape without a sag and as low as possible, clearly above the ground and truly horizontal to the ground. Drive pegs at points P5 and P6. Drive the nail on the center of the peg P5 and tie a line thread. Stretch the line thread at right angles using the builder's square to line P3, P4 and to appear on the peg at P6. Locate the nail point on peg P6 and drive a nail so as to be at the center of the line thread. Tie the line thread on the nail in peg P6 and obtain the third line P5, P6 at right angles to line P3, P4 and parallel to the lines P1, P2. The next task is to mark the fourth line of the building. Measure an arbitrary distance of 1 meter from the boundary CB. Locate points P7 and P8 to encompass the overall dimensions of the right side of the building, including the foundation excavation width and a safe distance. Drive pegs at points P7 and P8. Drive a nail on the center of peg P7 and tie a line thread. Stretch the line thread at right angles using the builder's square to line P5, P8 and to appear on the peg at P8. Locate the nail point on peg P8 and drive a nail so as to be at the center of the line thread. Tie the line thread on the nail in peg P8 and obtain the fourth line P7, P8 at right angles to line P5, P6 and a parallel to the line P3, P4. Measure the diagonal distance between intersection points E and H. Measure the diagonal distance between intersection points G and F. All the line threads must travel at the same level and separated only by thickness of the threads. Use builder's square to turn and check the back right angle of the thread line. Let us now learn in detail how to drive nails into pegs. Mark with a pencil the approximate center point of the flat surface of the driven peg. Hold the nail vertical with the sharp point on the center mark. Strike the nail head gently with the claw hammer. Let us now learn to verify the diagonal distance between profile markings. Tie thread lines between profiles to run on the center line mark. Obtain intersection points on the line thus stretched. Measure the distance between diagonally opposite intersection points. The distance between two such pairs should be equal. Let us now learn in detail how to set out a building, marking the center line layout of the building. This task will help you produce center lines of the building on the profiles and transfer center line marks on the ground. Trace the center line plan of the building and orientation of the building. Tie all line threads at the same level. Level separated only by thread thickness between pegs P1, P2, P3, P4, P5, P6 and P7, P8. Calculate half the wall width, that is 115 mm, plus the balance 2 meters of 2115 mm for locating the center line pegs for the front wall of the building. Measure the distance of 2115 mm on the line thread P3, P4 from the intersection point E and locate the drive peg P9. Repeat the process from the inspection point F and locate peg P10 and drive the nail. Now tie a line thread between P9 and P10. Mark a safe distance, say half a meter in front of peg P9 towards the building and drive a profile. Repeat the same procedure in front of peg P10 and drive another profile. Mark the center line on these profiles. Remove line thread P9, P10 and tie between these two profiles and obtain the center line of the building front wall. Repeat this process to obtain all other center lines as per the center line drawing. In this video, we have discussed how to mark the third line of the building, mark the fourth line of the building, drive nails on pegs, and verify the diagonal distance between profile markings. Hope you have a clear understanding of this session. Thank you all and see you again in the next video.